Welcome back. Just a little heads up, this part is a bit longer because, well, I've played for a bit longer, and it did not make sense to me to cut off the video midway. If you don't know, we're still solving the case of what happened to Madame Dupree, who was thought deceased but turned out to be alive. Can I just go up here? Oh, I can. If you hear a difference, I change the voice volume, put it down a bit.
A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupree didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls.
Doorway, door. I don't know. Let's do this one. Piano.
Goodness, someone went overboard with the flowers. This brings back some memories, doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
Do they mean the flower store, I think, where he died?
Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird.
That's one way to put it.
A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out.
Leeches?
Is this really the best that medical science has to offer? What in the ether is that thing supposed to be? Actually, I'd rather not know.
The
The
book?
science of pharmacology. I'm sure it's riveting stuff.
Are we gonna read it? Okay.
These should be
pick
useful.
these up. Tweezers. But what do I need those for?
I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew concocts in this thing. Decadent.
See, I do not really understand because he is commenting on everything. Oh, I can take them.
The bottle is empty.
So that's maybe what Andrew got. Could it be? Or do I need to make something and put it in there? In the kitchen, maybe? I don't know. That's all I could do, right? So this is exit. Yes. See, because what I was gonna say, I don't understand is looking at everything. Does it do something or not? I can play piano. Wait, but do I need to maybe find notes or something and open something up? Maybe there's a secret room here.
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupree and I at least have similar tastes.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Why would anyone need so many flowers in one room?
Perhaps it's to mask the odors of those chemicals on the workstation.
Could be.
Could be.
That's what I said.
Oh, look. It's one of those new audio cylindergraphs. I can't quite wrap my head around how they can manage to get sound out of a wax cylinder. It must be a nice place to sit and listen to music.
Yeah, I don't think I can do much. Oh, I thought this was the harp. Oh, I don't know. Let's go to the other rooms. At least now I have tweezers and... What did I get? The pills? But what do I need those for? Let's take a look at our casebook. Do we have something? Clues. Tweezers. So are these my clues? They're just describing the items. A useful tool for reaching things too small for human hands to reach or for plucking those pesky long eyebrow hairs. An empty bottle of pills designed to energize even the laziest of people. Recommended for use by men only. Contains 98%. But they're empty. Did he not say that? Suspects none. I just have this. Can I go in here? I can. Chest. Do I need to use them as a lockpick maybe?
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
But I can't access them. But because how did it work again? I think if you have something you can use, then the game will use it.
Locked.
Yeah, so I can't use those.
Let's have a look through these papers.
Let's.
Aha. What's this?
A key. Dear Miss Montgomery, unfortunately, I've been informed of a series of burglaries in the neighborhood near the room you're renting from me at 76 Forest Lane. As a precaution, I've gone ahead and changed the locks. Please find the closest copy of your new key. I hope this doesn't cause you too much of inconvenience.
So, Juliet is renting a room in the Chum. That's certainly interesting. I can't wait to see what sort of dirty secrets she's got hidden away in there.
Me too. Objective added.
Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is. Well, someone's fancy. I never liked these types of beds much. They feel too claustrophobic.
I always thought they had a certain appeal myself.
Yes, you would think that about a bed that lets you shut out the rest of the world.
Do you mean because of the ceiling? I think so. So, I do have to click at stuff because that is how I got the key. But I don't want to look at everything.
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
But do I need to because I didn't in the
Juliet
kitchen?
really likes plants and flowers, doesn't she?
That is true. Is it linked to the first case, maybe? Somehow? Then this is Andrew's room? Must be? Or not? This is weird. This is a weird room. What's this?
It would appear that Madame Dupree was taking music lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though.
So I need to play this tune. But does he take this or do I need to write this down? I probably do. I don't think he will. Let me see. Do you take this? No, you do not. Alright, so I'm writing this down. Alright, I wrote it down. Let's see if we can do something
That's
with
an
it.
old uniform, from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupree's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom.
So this is Madame Dupree's room, but I don't understand. Where does that Andrew sleep? Because we had Juliet's room and a music room.
A much younger Madame Dupree. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror.
Dupree. I'm saying it wrong.
Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying one.
Just speaking nonsense. Bookcase.
Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Choice and consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about. I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
So there's nothing
Now
here.
that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories. One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back and I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Wait, so I can look at all this, but I can't take anything. Do I need to do something with the titles or something? I don't know. Maybe I need more information. Drawers?
Let's see if there's anything in these drawers.
Let's.
Damn, nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
Uh-huh, now this is intriguing.
I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting mulatto thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house or I'll kill. Well, you can't read that, but she's threatening that Martin guy, for sure. So I checked those out. Book, I can take it.
Seems Madame Dupree fancies herself a poet.
To dream. Oh, Morpheus, caress my cheek. Bring forth the soothing visions. Give me strength when I am weak. Allow me some provisions. In your domain I am as a queen, controlling all I see and hear. I've traveled places I've never been, and now know not the meaning of fear. The dove. The dove is pure, serene, and pale, a glowing angel in the sparkling sky. Its gentle coos unlock the wail of the cursed crow that will not die. Protect the dove from grim defeat, let it remain in gentle flight. For when the crow's allowed to eat, it covers the world in eternal night. It's not bad. I mean...
Well, that was life-changing.
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often. Nah.
Did you not take it?
Oh, dear God, no.
Oh, I can't read it again. Then why do I have a hand?
You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
Don't remind me.
Strange train. Alright, so that's it for this room. So let's try out the piano. And maybe I need to do something with the bookcase. I think I do. But I don't know what. Let's see if we can figure out the piano.
Nice bouquet of roses. Although it would make things much easier if they were Easter lilies.
If only.
Must be nice being able to afford keeping your oil lamps lit during the daytime. A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupree didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls.
Are these the kiddos, by the way? Can hardly see them.
Ah, The Gascon...
Alright, well, I'm just clicking on everything in case I need to do something with anything. But if it's not interesting, I'll just skip ahead the text. That way I did check it. Alright, so let me see. Low C, C, D, E, F, G, A. I think it's this. No, I don't know. What do they mean? No, I don't know. Let's look at our casebook. Investigate the rented room at Forest Lane. Yeah, I need to do that. I still have those tweezers, which I don't know. Maybe I need to take a better look at the kitchen, because I have this note: kill you myself. What else do I have? Nothing. Do I have clues? No. I have a map. No. Oh, I can open these drawers.
This is always my favorite part of detective work.
Almost missed that.
Nothing inside but a bunch of extra doilies.
Oh.
How disappointing. Maybe you should steal one, just to spite Madame Dupree for not giving us any good clues.
No, Bill.
You're no fun, Miles.
Well, it's not her fault. She's kind of out of it. Also, I needed to ask the doctor to help that boy speak to me.
Do you suppose that's for the bird? Or perhaps so the Dupree family members can get a good look at themselves on the way out of the house?
Let's take another look at the kitchen, so I'm sure I didn't miss anything, just in case. No, not much here that I missed, I don't think. No. So why don't we go speak to the doctor?
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupree could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
Yep, that's how the world works.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Well, I didn't do that at all, I don't think. No. Sedative.
May I ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
He seems a bit out of sorts.
Hot? Meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, of course. I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
Yeah, you were.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
I'm glad he can hear him.
Tell me about Madame Dupree.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community. I cannot imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
You think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
Me too. Oh, I get more. What about this?
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupree's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupree had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
I can imagine.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupree wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Perhaps I'll go have a look.
I swear I did not know he was going to say that. It's a total coincidence.
How long have you been Madame Dupree's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30. I still spend a couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
Interesting.
Oh, good. Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
30 years is quite a long time. You must have seen some incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity. There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things. If you ask me, a good bloodletting will never go out of fashion.
A good bloodletting, that is what they used to do, yeah.
Did you examine Madame Dupree after she reanimated?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupree to appear dead?
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
What about that bottle I found that was totally empty?
What leads you to believe Madame Dupree was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult? There have been reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding. I recall reading about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish, declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Doesn't that seem a bit far-fetched to you, Doctor?
I agree.
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham.
not a fact.
Surely someone in your line of work can appreciate that.
So you read about something and it's a fact.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Well, you answered them. Can't speak to her.
Her eyes are glazed over and she's got a... If we didn't
what
know
is
she'd been
that?
buried alive, I'd say she...
To manor. Let me think. Garden, I did that. Fountain. So I can leave. I can try Andrew again, but I don't have anything to help him snap out of it. I have these, but they are empty. What about trying? And then I'll leave if that doesn't work.
I have some questions for you. Oh, goody.
Do you really? Yeah, so I can ask
I
them.
found this bottle of pills upstairs. Are they yours?
Yes, I take those from time to time when I'm feeling tired.
Alright.
You seem to be out.
Yes, that is a pity.
Where do you usually acquire them?
Oh, they're available by mail order only. I'll have to remember to request some later.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
Request where? Do I need to ask the cook? Lady? Whatever?
Stick around. I may have more questions for you later.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
Guess not. So don't really know how to do that then. Mail order, I don't know who does that. I didn't see a butler or anything. And the gardener, I didn't see the gardener either because there's a gardener, right? Somewhere.
This
And
quack
there's
hasn't got...
No. So let's leave. So let me see. We got more locations, did we not? Yes, this is new. Forest Lane. The cemetery is new. We did this. This is where the daughter is. This is where the detective is. This is where we were. This is the jail. And this is Dr. Martin's, or Martin's house. He's not a doctor. So let's check out that room. Well, this is definitely hers.
Egad! Is this someone's room or a jungle?
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here. Not to mention the machinery on the table.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit.
I don't think that's a motivation.
I wonder what sort of fertilizer or growth tonic these plants are getting. Whatever it is, it's definitely working.
bookcase.
That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
It
All
definitely does.
impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Do tell. What is missing?
That's quite... Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose. They appear to
Notes?
be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
Oh, that's too bad.
They appear to be...
Oh, it's the same. Flies?
They're just doing what flies do best.
Well, thanks for the information.
Well, now, this is interesting.
Is it? Etheric effects. Wait, didn't the doctor say something about etheric? Larger, more vibrant flowers. I can hardly read it. Root system strengthen, increasing capacity to absorb nutrients. Conclusion. Plants thrive from exposure to small etheric currents. Further experiments are needed to determine the long-term effects. Brain is clearly affected, inducing a trance-like state. Wait, that's the same as her mother. Muscle control lost, wings flap in predictable pattern. If animals with greater cognitive ability, including humans, are exposed to specific quantities of ethericity, they will go into a stupor, appearing unresponsive or dead.
Just a bunch of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it.
So she did it, maybe.
Etheric pressure. What a bunch of nonsense. I have no idea nor desire to know what purpose that thing has.
Why not? I want to know. Whoops. Was I not supposed to do that? Oh, what did I do?
Oh, would you look at that?
So they're in a trance now or something. That's weird. So she did it. I think she did it. Now what? Dr. Fellow's testimony. Madame Dupree was most likely poisoned, making her appear dead. Dark magic practitioners in the city have been known to use this method. Yeah, but I think that she did it with the flies. Do we need to press it again? I don't know. Let's do it. Now they're back to normal. That's so weird. So you can't
just doing what
it.
I have no idea.
Alright. So nothing else I can do here. He says there are 2 books missing, but he won't say which ones. Still go somewhere else, I think. What about the cemetery? I don't know why I need to go here.
Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days.
Do you want me to check it out?
I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
That's a good thing, probably.
If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
Yeah, but I don't even know why I need to go there.
Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum. Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then.
Exit. Oh, I can't speak to him. I thought I couldn't.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Get out of the way. Nice day for a walk. I need to get into that tomb. What about this?
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
But it's my dear departed Aunt Hess's birthday. I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance. Would he fall for that?
I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance.
Nice try, sir, but that's clearly a bunch of bull.
Whoops.
You're just trying to get me to step away so you can go inside the tomb.
What? No, I would never do such a thing.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was somebody being mugged, he'd see it for sure.
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily fooled.
True that. Can I speak to you again?
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
Oh, guess not. So I'm stuck. I don't really know how to get past you. I don't know what to do with that. Juliet's room. Let me think. I can confront Juliet with a couple of things, probably. I can ask maybe the detective for help. My bestie.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Review case.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
What to... Maybe she can help me with
I
this.
seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer posted at Dupree's family tomb, and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Ah, yes, that would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months.
She can help me.
I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Thank you. So I didn't need to ask her. Let's ask her everything.
What do you know about Madame Dupree?
Only what I've read about her in the paper. She's been married thrice, which I can empathize with, and she's extremely rich, which I can't.
What makes you think this Martin fellow is innocent?
The fact that the only evidence is the word of Dupree's son. I've seen this sort of thing thousands of times, and I'm sure you did too. They're just looking for a scapegoat. You're the only person I know who can put it right.
Upton's intentions are noble, but she has to realize this is just a drop in the ocean.
And this?
Madame Dupree's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, you know, we are in a coffee house.
I have a
Smart
feeling it
thinking.
will take something a touch more powerful than coffee.
Oh.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
Alright, bye.
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
Alright, so I can go back to her from time to time to ask her stuff. And really, I cannot take any coffee? I would like to. I think that's a great idea. But I guess not. Did I see something somewhere else that I could put in it? I don't know. What about the mummy with the tea?
Welcome
Can she
back,
help
Mr.
me?
Fordham.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Give me some special tea. Back room. Should I say this?
About that back room of yours.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Alright, drop it.
Actually, never mind. I misspoke. Thank you for your help.
My pleasure.
So I don't really know. So I can't do anything here, it seems. Or I can press her. But he warns me and I'm kinda scared to do it. Is this at my house, maybe? I don't know. Could be.
I'm here.
It's good to have you back. So
not for
what's
long.
this big case Upton's got you on? Another missing pet?
If only. A Gascon Grand Dame was attacked and almost interred alive.
You mean Madame Dupree? The one whose obituary was in the paper?
Same
The
one.
very same.
Goodness, that does sound serious. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately.
You're always a help to me, Addie. Though I assure you I have this well in hand.
I certainly hope so.
How can you help me, I wonder? Don't know. So let's see what we have. Bottle?
Bollingworth Ale. My favorite. You really ought to go back.
No, I can take that. Bookcases. What about the bedroom where all the noise is? Can I take that stupid thing maybe and give it to him, wake him up? This? No.
It's admirable just how organized. Wouldn't you say it's
So? Addie,
right?
what are you talking about?
Never mind.
No. No, nothing here. Let's see if she can help me.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
Distracting officer. Oh, is that what I needed to do?
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
What is it?
There's an officer posted in front of Madame Dupree's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm, hmm?
Well, you are irresistible, darling. I'm sure he wouldn't turn away a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
We should.
There's no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then.
Thank you. Glad I figured this out at least.
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
I seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Stop right there. That's quite enough from you.
I beg your pardon?
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me blind. Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one.
Oh, that
And he
works
doesn't
too.
appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
You know, Miles, sometimes I forget how absolutely delightful it is to watch you lose your head.
Miles, was that really necessary?
I'm
funny.
sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work.
So that didn't go
I
as
have
planned.
to say, I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Although I think you may have already used up that privilege.
Well, it's been fun, but I need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
But this did work, just not the way we wanted to. So I can go inside now. So I did not expect him to be racist, apparently. What's
What a
this?
dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. What a dramatic...
Oh, I want to read the text, but I cannot.
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles? These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another.
This one is open.
This must be what was going to be Madame Dupree's final resting place.
Ah.
I don't see anything inside.
What, were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
Let's see, so angel statue, not much we can do with that. These are all the crypts. I think that's all the same thing.
I suppose the
Skylight.
whole heaven shining down upon the tomb motif is good for the dead people's self-esteem.
So I got in here and now I can do anything? Really? That's so mean. I think I looked at everything, did I not? Crypt. Yeah. Unmarked.
Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 1843. A good man. Rest in peace.
I can look at
Sarah
all of them.
Chesterton, 1784 to
I told you I was sick.
1812. I told you I was sick. Jane Scott Chesterton, 1746 to 1815. Ab Eterno. Desmond Chesterton, 1745 to 1810. Strong in life, stronger in death. John Patrick Chesterton, 1740 to 1825. Patriarch, leader, family man. William Arthur Chesterton, 1770 to 1837. Gone but never forgotten. Celine, 1823 to 1844. Taken too soon, rest ye with the angels.
Yeah, that's not that old.
Douglas Chesterton, 1791 to 1840.
Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Alright. Well, I read them all. I don't know if I need to do something with them, but I don't know that right now. I feel like it's a lot of effort to get in here, and then you get nothing for it. It's just kind of mean. So what now? This is a dead end. I can speak to Martin again, but I don't know about that. Let's speak to the daughter again.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Let's see. Well, let's start with Andrew.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
And what about this?
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
You surprised me, Mr. Fordham. I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
I've found that it pays to be open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical.
Liar.
I don't have the means to do anything practical, I'm afraid.
Deceiver, dissembler, her trousers are alight.
Pants on
I
fire.
can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Do I want to press her on this?
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
Your brother told me I wouldn't be very good if I didn't find these things out. Let's say this.
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't find things out, Miss Montgomery. Now please, drop the act and tell me about your experiments.
Fine. I've been researching etheric effects on living organisms. I'm planning on presenting my discoveries to the board once I make more progress. So far, I've managed to discover that plant growth is accelerated significantly. It's given me quite the advantage in class.
But isn't that cheating?
You have no idea how difficult it's been for me to be taken seriously, Mr. Fordham. No matter how hard I tried, my work wasn't valued on its own merits by my peers or professors. I fought hard to get where I am. I wasn't about to lose all that just because some pig-headed idiots didn't think my best was good enough.
That sounds awfully familiar.
What about your notes on the effects of ethericity on animals?
Oh, those aren't complete. I haven't tested the effects on anything larger than flies. Those experiments were mainly to satisfy my curiosity, but they have little to do with my actual research.
Curiosity? Seems like a lot of effort to go to just to answer a question. But then, I never really understood these scientific types.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
So my partner thinks everything is suspicious, and then he says something like, but on the other hand, maybe it's totally logical. So thanks for the help. Yeah, don't know what to do still. I'm still very stuck. But that is the way these games work. So I can go to the jail and speak to Martin again. I can go to the manor. But what did I learn in the meantime? Wait, her house is gone. Oh. Okay, go back to the cemetery. I don't know. Do I have to keep going everywhere?
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr. Martin?
It's not like I'm going anywhere.
So I can still ask him stuff. Hatred for Dupree.
Albert, did you hate Madame Dupree?
The woman is cruel, sadistic, and bigoted. When she found out about my relationship with Juliet, she sent me a letter threatening to have me killed if I got near her house or her daughter.
You found it.
So yes, Mr. Fordham, I hated her. But even so, I love her daughter. I wouldn't be so cruel as to take Juliet's mother away from her, even if she hated her too.
I beg your pardon?
Juliet and her mother didn't get along at all. I never asked why, but it was obvious there was something going on.
Intriguing.
Objective.
That's all for now.
Wait, what objective did I get? Where are my objectives? Discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. Oh, and I wasn't done with the tomb apparently. Why not? Find the stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor. So this is what I have to do. I haven't looked at this very closely. Discover the source of her mother's rift. But I don't really know how. I don't. I can ask Juliet again, but that probably won't work. I think I need to speak to Andrew, so I need to find something to wake him up. But what? I don't know. I can speak to Adelaide again. Where's my home? Oh, she's gone. That's a bummer. She can't help me anymore. I can still look at the newspaper though. So let's read this again very quickly. She married Cole, Andrew Shepard. Colonel. So he's named after his father. Lasted 1 year. Then she married Benjamin, a doctor. They had two. Oh no, that's not his son. Benjamin died. A banker. Alright. And this is about the thing that she's using. I did not read this too. Ethericity. It's real and it's coming. So probably everything is important what's standing here. The existence of ethericity, a substance said to possess both energetic and restorative properties, was first put forth 2 years ago by Dr. Bennett Clark. His presentation at the annual Vespuccia Science Conference at the University of New Britain was extremely divisive. Dr. Clark claims that ethericity exists in small amounts on Earth, but is mainly located in the celestial region commonly referred to as the ether. Imagine electricity, but hundreds of times more powerful. In addition to powering our lights and machines, it can also significantly reduce the effects of aging and heal the sick. The sky will no longer be the limit, he described. Dr. Clark has yet to secure significant funding for his experiments, as his harshest critics have dismissed him as a crackpot. However, there are those who believe that... I don't know. Alright.
Your book collection is always astonishing.
Should I ask her again about her mother? Or not?
She's busy.
No. So that's not how I found that out. But I do have to go to their home. Figure out some stuff, maybe.
This quack.
I can speed it up. That's great. Let's take a look at those piano notes again, because I have to do something with those. I'm sure of it. After studying this for a while and getting nowhere, I realized that maybe I was wrong about this. I looked it up and realized I missed something important, so I went and did that anyway. Also, I did find something you can do with the piano. I'll show that first.
That's a nice melody. Reminds me of my mother. It looks as though this folded piece of paper is being used as a bookmark. I hope remembering what page they were on wasn't too important.
Looks like it's a letter for Andrew.
Interesting. Andrew, enclosed is the agreed upon fee. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on exams without his help. Dr. Tennyson charges an obscene amount. Thank goodness for good people like you with home pharmacies. I'll look for them in the usual spot on the Weeping Angel, Joshua. P.S. Sorry to hear about your mother. I will wait a few days before passing by. So, I need to look under the angel in the cemetery, I think. Alright, so let's go to the cemetery, because I missed that note and that is why I got stuck. And now I can look underneath the angel. Over here. Let's hurry up a bit.
What a dramatic step. Hang on. You don't suppose this is...
Yes, That's what I needed to do.
Surprise, surprise! A hidden compartment with a stash of pills inside. Seems Mr. Montgomery has a little business on the side.
Who's that? Is that Andrew? Where is it? Is it this? In this one? No, this is what he handcrafted. Oh, so yeah. Wait. They say they updated it, but I don't see what. Handcrafted by Andrew. Oh, this is what I found. Oh, right, because this one is empty. That's it. All right. So let's go speak to Andrew. Confront him. And hopefully not make any mistakes. If we can confront him, I don't know. Do we need to give them to him?
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
You don't mean that. Yeah, I can't say it.
You'll never believe what I found in your family's tomb.
Oh? Was it a ghost?
Not exactly.
No, it was these vigor pills. You wouldn't happen to know how they got there, would you?
I see you really are good at your job, aren't you, Mr. Fordham?
I kinda am.
Look, Andrew, I'm in no mood for games.
What you're doing is highly illegal. I have no choice but to report to the police. I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for your cooperation. Just be quiet and take one of these pills. What about this?
I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for your cooperation.
Fine, but you have to understand, I'm not exactly feeling myself right now.
I understand perfectly, which is why I need you to take one of these pills.
I suppose one would help. Thank you.
I wonder, does it? It
My
looks different.
goodness, I always forget how fast those pills work. My heart is racing. You said you had questions, didn't you? Well, go on, ask them already. We mustn't waste any more time.
Well, that seems to have done the trick.
I agree with
I
that.
just hope we haven't doomed him to a heart attack.
Oh, we can ask him a lot. Parrot again.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupree?
I can't believe anyone would be so cruel as to do what that wretched bastard Martin did to her. Mother is kind and generous, and everyone loves her.
That's not
She's even good enough to hire actual people to do the housework. Not many wealthy families do that, you know. They just use automated machines or hire servants to operate the manual ones.
Oh, I got a lot more.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
I study pharmacology at the university. I'll be graduating next year if all goes well. I just hope Mother has recovered enough by then to understand what's going on. She and Jean were so proud of me when I started university. I'd be so disappointed if she couldn't see me finish.
Who's Jean? Is that your father?
I take it Jean is your stepfather.
He is. Mother married him 5 years after my father died of consumption.
My condolences. Do you have a good relationship with him?
Not terribly. Truth is, I hardly ever see him. In fact, before the funeral, I hadn't seen him at all this month.
Where is he now?
I don't know for certain, but it seems likely he's at his hunting cabin.
His hunting cabin?
Yes, he often goes there. It's his way of leaving polite society behind and spending time with his thoughts. Considering what Mother just went through, well, I would guess that's where he's gone. Although, to be honest, I don't know why he's not here with Mother in her time of need.
Why do people run away from their problems instead of facing them?
Why, Miles?
Why, Miles?
Do you know where this cabin is?
Afraid not. I don't share his passions, so I never cared much to accompany him on his outings.
So who does know? Maybe Juliet?
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
Juliet, smart as a whip and just as forgiving. She's a fighter, that one. Despite being the only woman in her class, she's managed to rank at the top.
Impressive.
I only wish Mother was more accepting of Juliet going to university. But you don't want to hear about boring family matters, I'm sure.
Kinda do.
Oh, but family matters are my favorite. It's always so reassuring to know how much worse off everyone else is.
Reassuring, he says.
What exactly were the circumstances leading up to your mother's supposed death?
A few days ago, I arrived home from school and found her collapsed on the floor.
Oh, he found
She
her.
wasn't breathing, so I immediately contacted Dr. Fellows. He examined her and pronounced her dead. We were all completely shocked. I was devastated. She'd been in fine health. In fact, she'd just been out riding that morning. You can imagine our surprise at the funeral when she sprang back to life.
This is interesting because I thought he was a real wackadoodle, but it was just the pills apparently because now he's totally normal.
What's your relationship with the servants like?
Relationship? I don't have one with them. They're servants. Mother always made it clear that they weren't part of the family, just help. We've only got 2 on staff right now, though, the kitchen girl and the gardener.
All right.
How is it you know Albert Martin?
He works at the greenhouse where my sister Juliet does her research. The 2 of them were involved romantically, and Mother didn't like that at all. I heard their fights. They were ghastly.
What exactly made you suspect he was the one responsible for what happened to your mother?
Well, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? His mother's a notorious voodoo witch. Those people do all sorts of awful things to our kind. It's all out of spite, you know. He knew Mother disapproved of his relationship with Juliet, so he plotted to get rid of her.
Yeah, I don't buy it, but could be.
So, you're running some kind of pill business on the side.
I'm providing a service, Mr. Fordham. Not everyone in this life is as lucky as I am. People pay top crown for luxuries like airship tickets and social club memberships. Medicine should be affordable to all.
I agree with that.
Dr. Tennyson has a patent on the energy pill formula and thus a monopoly on the market. That means he can charge whatever he wants. Students use these kinds of pills all the time, you know. Academic rigors can be overwhelming, and concentrating can be difficult without help sometimes. I've got the skills and the equipment. If I can replicate the formula, help my fellow students, and sell them at a much more reasonable price, why shouldn't I?
There's the fact that what you're doing is illegal.
Oh, you're starting to sound just like Mother. And just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's immoral. I can think of plenty of examples where the opposite is true.
I'm sure you can.
You're probably the most altruistic person I've met all month.
The sad part is it's true.
I thought he was being sarcastic.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
Yes, Ray is nice when he's quiet. But get him started and it's tough to shut him up.
Who trained him?
I think he already knew some phrases when Mother bought him. She's managed to teach him a few new ones, though.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Alright, so the parent is important too. I don't know why.
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey. Work.
Who's a pretty bird?
Work. Ray's a pretty bird.
Polly want a cracker?
No, thank you. Work.
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey.
So long, birdie.
Work. Bye-bye.
Alright, so he did give me some information. Let me see. Locate Jean Dupree's hunting cabin. Maybe my detective lady can help me with that. I still need to discover the source of the rift. I thought maybe Andrew would know, but he didn't tell me that. Or maybe the lady in the kitchen. But she won't help me anymore, will she? Did I make a mistake with her, maybe? Say the wrong thing, I don't remember. Can't speak to her again.
Amelie?
Yes? What is it? We mustn't be seen talking.
Anything you can tell me about Jean?
I hardly ever see him. Only at dinner. He's scared of Madam, and so he finds any reason to get out of the house and stay away as long as he can.
Scared of her?
Oh, it's true. You should see him when they're in private. Like a shamed puppy that dirtied the carpet.
Interesting.
Let's ask some more about that.
Do you have any idea why Jean is so afraid of Madame Dupree?
If he's seen the same things we have, then yes.
What kind of things?
No, I spoke out of turn. Forget I said anything.
Amelie, listen to me. A potentially innocent man's life is on the line. If I don't find out who attacked Madame Dupree, he's as good as dead. So if there are any facts or details you know that I don't, you need to tell me.
I can't.
You can. I'm not with the police. If Madame Dupree did something wrong, I'm not going to look the other way. Trust me, I'm on your side.
Madam beats the servants. I think she even does it for fun. I hear the screams sometimes. I don't know how anyone else in the family doesn't. Maybe they do and just ignore it. I don't know. But if Mr. Dupree knows what she do, it explains why he's so scared of her.
I can can ask some more about it.
Did Madame Dupree ever abuse you?
No, I was lucky, but some of the others weren't.
Like who? I need details, Amelie.
The old gardener, Guy Dumas, and one of the maids, Celine. I saw Madame going after them the most. Don't know what they did to deserve it, but I would see her walk by in a rage, whip in one hand and a book in the other.
A book? What book?
Oh, I don't know. I can't read, so I don't know what it said on the cover. But it's the same color as the stew spice I always use. Don't know what she used it for, but she always had it with her, just before a beating.
Maybe she'd recite them some of her terrible poetry. I'm sure that was torture enough.
That's kind of mean. Interesting. So I need to look at the spice and look for a book of that color.
Tell me more about Guy and Celine.
They were deeply in love with each other. I used to hear them talk about how they wanted to run away together.
What happened to them?
I don't know. One day they were here, and then one day they weren't.
Do you think Madame Dupree may have done something to them?
I couldn't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she had. Please, let's not talk about this anymore.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
So a lot of people with motive.
Looks
Spices?
like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges.
Alright, so red or orange. That is the color of the book. Let's go take a look. And that rhymes. This is the room, I think. There's only one. This one.
Well, this should be the book Amelie mentioned. Well,
Whoops.
well, what have we here?
The whip.
A whip. And it has dried blood on it. How ghastly.
That it is.
This house is just full of secrets, isn't
He
it?
just takes it. So is there something else behind this painting? A bloodstained whip found hidden behind a painting in Madame Dupree's bedroom, presumably used to beat her servants. I have a testimony now. At times seemingly for fun, she used a whip but also carried a book, which was the same color as her stew spice. Yeah, alright. Find out more about Guy and Celine. Alright, so what changed? I think question everybody at the house that disappeared. And I did not investigate the tomb, did I not? Did I miss something? What did I miss? That's weird. So what now? Let me think. Maybe show that whip to her? I don't know. Would that be smart? Or ask Andrew?
I have some questions for you.
All right.
Oh, about them, yes.
Did you know Guy Dumas?
The old gardener? Sure, I knew him. We didn't talk very much. He was just a servant after all, but he seemed like a nice man. He stopped coming around about 2 months ago. Too bad, really. He did a good job of keeping the gardens looking nice. The new one is all right, but he just doesn't have that special touch Guy did.
And what about Celine?
Were you familiar with a servant named Celine?
Yes, I believe she was one of the maids. I didn't talk to her very much. Oh, she quit not so long ago. At least I assume she did. I haven't seen her in about 3 months.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
So it's 3 and 2 months, so they did not disappear at the same time. They were a month apart. At least it's what he's saying. The doctor? Yes, I can speak to him.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupree.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupree does not need to be agitated any further.
Oh my god.
I take it you don't look very favorably upon him then.
I'll just say this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean.
That's true.
Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Yeah, I kinda expected him to not know anything.
Her eyes are... If we didn't...
No. So let's ask our detective partner, or whatever she is, if she can find that address. I keep wanting to go here because she looks like this, but she's over here. Well, she doesn't look like it, but a little.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Review the case.
I wanted to go over the case.
Okay.
I'm having a bit of trouble locating Jean Dupree. I know he has a hunting cabin in the swamp, but it could be anywhere.
The swamp is fairly big. It can be hard to locate just one cabin.
I suppose it would make sense to ask someone in his family about it. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
Oh, is that all? Alright.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better.
There's only one left, so it has to be his daughter who knows. Well, she's not really his daughter, stepdaughter. Juliet. It's got a lot of going back and forth to people and asking them stuff. Opening up
Hello
conversations.
again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Which I don't mind, but it's just the way the game works, apparently. That's good to know.
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often. He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
Yeah, thank you. I needed that.
Do you know Guy Dumas?
Yes, he was one of our servants. He used to enjoy reading my books, as well as Andrew's.
When did you see him last?
Just last week. He came by to see me and asked to borrow some books.
Oh, so he's still alive.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Not really. I get the impression that he moves around frequently. But I can tell him you're looking for him next time I see him, if you like.
Please do. Although hopefully I'll be able to find him before then.
Alright, so she did not do something to them then.
Were you friends with Celine, the maid?
Yes, I was quite fond of Celine. She was so sweet and interesting to talk to. One day, she just left the house with no explanation. Mother said it was because she had found work elsewhere. I was terribly saddened. I wish I'd had the chance to say goodbye to her, at least. What's your interest in her?
Oh, I was just curious, that's all. No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Alright. Get this update. Speak to Jean. I still have to find out more about them. Maybe he can tell me. And I still don't know this. And I still have to investigate the tomb apparently. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I need to unlock it somehow. Right, so I've done a lot of things. I'm gonna take a break. I don't really know where I'm gonna end the part because I've already recorded a little bit more earlier, so I'm not really doing it logically at the moment. But well, if it doesn't make sense, I'll cut all of this rambling out, so don't worry. Basically, what we've done now is we've discovered well, we got Andrew to speak to Son. We found the stepfather's location. It's over here in the hunting cabin. We found that the daughter is experimenting with aethericity, which is to get people in a trance, and her mother is in a trance, so that's kind of suspicious. And we found the family tomb where she was before she woke up. So that doesn't sound like a lot, although I feel like we've done a lot, but it's kind of, you know, figuring out how to get stuff. That takes time to puzzle, so. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Curious what happens next? Subscribe to my page so you don't miss anything.